And the only way I was able to be able to truly help people is to see their perspective, sit in their chair. So what I did is I did the same thing I do that I tell my kids. So it's authentic, and I'm gonna be fair. I'm going to listen and take in the information and make a decision and stand on it.
What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had enough. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had enough.
What's up with y'all? This is the Best Way to Smoke podcast, and you smoking with Big J.
Yep, and look, y'all, I'm official. It's your favorite smoking partner, Serpo. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe.
Please believe, make sure you do that. And you know, we got our special guest co-host in the building with us tonight, like always.
Poppin', y'all. It's C-Pop, your professional hype woman. Thank you again for having me, y'all.
Sure.
So we have a guest with us today, and this gentleman has been in the cannabis industry since '96. From vending to event throwing to educating, he specializes in 5-star hospitality. Help me welcome the cannabis man.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm on the couch now. I'm on the
Welcome.
couch.
So,
You're on
man,
the
we
couch
definitely
now.
appreciate you coming out, man.
Since '96. Look at all the shit that I've been through.
It's the thanks I get.
But look, before we tap all the way into the show, we always do the best way to smoke tip. And when we have a guest, we ask the guest, get the people your best way to smoke tip.
If it's actually applying to smoke, shout out to my brother Freshwoods for teaching me. You got to get a glass tip. If you smoke backwoods, make sure you get a glass tip. It'll change the experience of smoking. I've been a backwood man ever since Freshwoods gave me a glass tip. Tip for vendors, so I keep it to home. Make sure you realize the importance of data. I think in a business, we look at money and results, and the final result of money is from the data and the information you have. So make sure you focus on data. Get people's contact information. Make a client out of them. Make sure you know what their necessities are. That's the tip. Make sure you focus on the data. The money is one thing, that's going to come. But if you got the data, it's going to come real easy.
Building a relationship.
And that's a double up.
Yeah.
Y'all know that's a double up on that tip.
That's what we do.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good tip right there, though, for sure, for sure. So look, tell us where you grew up at and when you first got into cannabis.
West. I'm from West LA.
That's
Proud
right,
to
that's
represent
right.
West LA, back to the beach. And I got into cannabis really young. It's funny that you asked that question because we do give you some memory problems, because I really do try to figure out, dang, how young was I? Because I came from an era with the shoebox.
Yeah.
Pops had the shoebox and the Crown Royal bag, and we used to dig in there. He had the little tomato plants in the back, and we
Crown Royal
stripped the
bag.
weed
Crown
off.
Royal.
We stripped the weed off of his plants, and we didn't even know you had to dry it,
For fucking with that shit.
right?
Yeah.
So we used to strip the weed off his plant, and we even rolled it in like newspaper. So I'll be trying to figure out how far back it started. It's been a lifestyle and a lifelong thing.
Yeah, my first time was with the Bible paper, the clear part.
Without the
Me
ink.
and the homie. Yeah, without the ink.
Don't
The
play
clear
with
part. Yeah,
God.
no,
Don't play with
yeah.
God.
The Bible, because it was the
Smoking
closest thing
scriptures,
to the,
huh?
to the paper. You know what I'm saying?
Close to the scriptures, boy.
God put this here for us.
Real. It's in me now. It's in me. You know what I'm saying?
I can't.
For real, man. So look, tell us a little bit about your journey as far as like being a cannabis consultant.
That's great. As a cannabis consultant, that really happened from people asking me for advice, asking me for information, looking to me. And I realized the importance of me telling somebody what I've done, what I've accomplished, what my skills and abilities are, don't help them. Once I became a consultant, I was really willing to find out what you need. I was willing to ask you what your demands are, what your expectations were. Consulting happened for me when I had to really be real and not tell you who I am, but figure out who you are and where you was trying to go.
Right.
So consulting happened naturally because in our era, for where we came up, I'm 46.
Yeah.
The game was to be sold, not told.
Right behind you.
But things changed. And for us to evolve, especially in our culture as black men, you got to tell the people under you, behind you, in front of you, next to you, what's going on so we can be on the same page. So consulting happened pretty fast when I had to man up and go, I got to answer these questions more honestly than tell them my resume. So a great consultant is going to find out what you need, what you want, and where you're trying to go. I'm more of the arrow than I am a bow. So I need a bow to give me direction so that I can handle obstruction to get to their target. That's when I became a consultant.
Let me ask you this, like within that consultant area, you know what I'm saying? When people come in, like they ask those little questions or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Do you sometimes figure out, be like, that's not even the path that you're really on? What you talking to me about, you need this over here.
That's very true to what most consultants think they should be doing, is telling you the direction they think you should go. But anyone that's been through a level of love and passion and compassion for what they do, you would know better than to tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do, because you don't know God's plan. Every day I find out something new. Every day I learn something new. I find a new resource. And again, I think a true consultant is finding out what your goal and what my job is to support you.
Yeah, but like in that realm though, like what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? This is destructo coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, like, no, you're not telling them exactly like what you should do. You know what I'm saying? It's like you as the consultant, you're actually identifying certain markers that'll make you stronger that you may be missing. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
hard. It's kind of like parenting, because
That's that part.
as a dad, right, you can do everything you want to put your son or your child in a position to succeed in what you think, right? I know this is for you, son. I know your
Okay, I get
skill
it.
set. I know
Yeah.
right? I know the resources I have for you already,
Yeah, I get
right?
it.
But, and now being a grandfather and there being levels to it, some things you need to stand aside and just support. Because you don't know.
Most
If
definitely.
you're smart, you know things continue to evolve and will change. And maybe what you did for you won't work for them. So I try to do a better job of finding out what they want. You do have to give them some structure and give them some guidelines and outline. But the most successful people put on those blinders, and it don't matter what you tell me. The more you tell me I can't do it, the more successful, the more energy I put into it. So for me, like I was going into the father thing, is if they're ready and they're willing and they want to. When someone wants something, there's nothing stronger in desire than want, and you want to support that and put some fire behind that. So if they really want that and that's what they really want, we get to that point in the conversation, I'm going to go ahead and support them and push them for it. But it is my job to at least give them an outline and tell them constructive criticism.
So is that tunnel vision?
Tunnel vision? Yeah, I'm a Taurus. So yeah, I think tunnel vision is necessary. Most of my idols are like Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. These guys don't have the greatest friends or family relationships. There's things they missed out on because they were so dialed in on their success. So for me, I kind of don't ever want to deter somebody from tapping all the way in.
That's dope.
I think that's actually good, and it's a good push for somebody though, because even if the things ain't going right, but they feeling like and knowing that this is what they want to do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna give you that boost. I'm gonna say, well, look, go this way. You know what I mean? Still on the same path of what you're doing, but yeah, go this way a little bit. You know what I mean? Do this, you know what I'm saying? Do that. It's gonna work for you.
Yeah, those that are resilient continue.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's the key with business and entrepreneurship is a huge tip.
Yeah.
Is to continue. When things are good, work harder. When things are bad, work harder. You know, a lot of times we pray when things are going bad. The people that pray, even when things are going good, they put themselves in just a better position.
Or even knowing when to pivot.
Exactly.
You know.
You know what I seen on your Instagram? You was talking about like your logo. You know what I'm saying? Without having the head
Correct.
attached and stuff. Like break that down for people. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that was dope the way you explained that in that video.
I'm glad you brought that up, man.
Yeah.
When building a brand, when being a brand ambassador, when marketing, I think a lot of us in branding, we take on, there has to be a physical, there has to be a face, there's something. But when things are bigger than you and they're before you and they come after you, you kind of start looking at things in the long perspective and you say, I can plant this seed today and no one will care who planted it, but how many people will appreciate that shade that I won't enjoy. So for me, especially in our era, you know, we full of ourselves, brothers from LA. It's about,
real talk.
again, I just named Kobe Bryant, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, all the individuals. I wanted to realize that as a parent, as a leader, as a man, that I was doing something bigger than me, so it didn't need to be me as the face. So there was no head. It was everybody putting in their piece and filling in the blank for that part of it. So that's why I left no head on the logo.
Yeah, and that's dope though, because like even the way you explained it just now and the way you explained it in that video, that's the kind of shit that'll draw people into you too though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very relatable and it's like, yeah, it don't have to be your face or a face there though, but anybody could stand in these shoes, right?
Exactly.
Agreed.
You know what I'm
Things
saying?
are going to evolve. Things are going to change right in front of you.
Yep.
Some you might not even be in agreement with. But again, if you're all in on this and this is really what you want, then you're going to accept. There's things with cannabis I just have to accept, you know? There's things that are happening in the world you just have to accept.
Man.
And I can sit here and put more energy to things that I'm not happy with, or I can continue to flourish and water those seeds, the things I want to see flourish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of businessman. Is that just you solely, or is it like a team with that?
I'm glad you asked me that, man. People think because I'm 7 days a week and I'm out all over every state working alone that it's me. But the truth is, I'm really glad you're. I'm gonna take off my hat and say that anybody successful, there's more people behind them that did everything to get them where they are that you don't know about. And that's a huge fact. Like I could spend more time here to tell you the names of the people that have helped me than I could tell you of accolades I've done by myself. And something I had to realize myself to be real about success and this journey is you can go real fast by yourself. You can.
Right.
You can't go far without somebody that's going to navigate, that's going to help, that's going to grab the steering wheel, that's going to give you a little advice.
Yeah.
Heads up. So
I'm
just
glad.
think about that.
I'm glad you said that because I feel like a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't need nobody, like I got this, or they let like the outside influence them or whatever it is. But it's just like you need a team. Like if you're trying to grow, it's always nice to have a team.
Keyword is grow. You're hampering your growth.
Right, right.
We learn from each other.
Exactly. There's never like learning don't stop.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Learning don't stop. So, what would you how do I put this? Like, so your top people, like, or that, like, you're like, I'm so glad, like, or their positions that they have, or what they do to assist you as deep or as like you want to go. Like, what was like the turning point for you? Where like, damn, I'm so glad I grabbed this person on my team to do X, Y, Z. Like,
okay. I think that made it easier. I'm glad that's why I love you on this show, Pop.
Thank
made
you,
that a little easier. There's a gentleman by the name of Freshwoods. I think I should probably start with him. I named him earlier. I was working at the Status nightclub in Moreno Valley. It was called Status Sesh. It was a sesh that was going 6 days a week after Taco Sesh came there and exposed what a sesh was to them. And at the time, they weren't doing events. I ended up coming in and working with them from 8 people visiting to we celebrated 998 person coming.
Right. Good for you.
So I was there to see that build, and I was in a suit and tie wearing the logo.
Right.
And I was in the bathroom one time and like, it was a rough day. I can't give you the exact details, but it was a rough day.
Right.
And they say on your journey, God will put people, right? I'm in the bathroom, pause. And Dave says to me, you don't know who the fuck you looking at in the mirror, man. I don't think you know. You just here in this sesh. No disrespect. He didn't mean to disrespect the sesh, but he gave me a bigger vision. And I think that moment, Dave telling me that I'm here to support you, he recognized, again, being a consultant, he recognized what my need was. And my need was to get behind the mic, get out, host, deal with these vendors, deal with these patients, deal with the owners of these properties directly. And that was the first person, other than my brother, when I started with my youngest brother, my blood brother, my middle brother, not the youngest, started with me.
I was gonna ask you about him.
But the biggest person that did that was Dave, man. He's probably the first. There's millions of people. I don't want to leave nobody out. Y'all know who you are because I tell people I love them every opportunity I get.
That's right.
I tell them what they mean to me every opportunity I get. But Dave would probably be the biggest because he ended up being the person I could leave the table to. And he could handle sales, and I could get out and begin hosting. And it's part of why I'm here today. If I just stayed by my table and worried about Cannabis, man, I wouldn't have worked with other sessions. I wouldn't have been in a position to help other people.
I don't even know. Like, I'm pretty sure you don't know about it, but you said it's either your middle brother or your younger brother.
There's 3 of us.
Y'all got a food truck too, though, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's my brother. See, that's like when people ask me how many kids I got. They be like, man, how many kids do you got? Because I'm a father figure. I got godchildren. I got stepchildren. I got people that were your child, but we lived on the same block, and you know how that go. I was a father figure. Football or whatever was needed, I was there.
I say this one is your brother, though. You know what I'm saying?
Wayman. You're talking about Wayman with Something for Your Mouth Catering. Shout out to my brother Wayman.
I'm finna tell you, though.
If I didn't say his name, he would have been mad. You said Dave, nigga, and didn't say me. Shout out to Wayman.
Shout out Wayman, though.
That's who you're talking about with the
but
food
like
truck.
He represented the kind of business, you know what I'm saying, that entity.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
He did
It's like,
step
it's
behind
about
the table.
Maybe 2 years ago, you know what I'm saying, and I had an incident, you know what I'm saying, and I bumped into y'all brand, period. You know what I'm saying? Kind of businessman, the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, keep it real. How did that go, Wayman? How did you
know what I'm
represent
saying?
the brand that day? We're going to find out.
No, the brand was actually out here in the free world, I'll say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, with the brother that I'm speaking of now, you know what I'm saying, we weren't in the free world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was something, he got a tattoo somewhere on one of his arms somewhere that made me be like, man, that's the, you know what I'm saying, you in the cannabis industry?
Damn, that hurts that I can't figure out which
You know
of
what
my
I'm saying?
brothers that is.
It's a tattoo or something, you know what I'm saying, on one of the brother arms, you know what I'm saying, right up in here somewhere.
Describe
Okay,
it to him.
no,
Describe
better than that.
Like-
We from LA. What side is he from? North Hollywood? He from?
I don't know,
No.
because we
You know how it is in jail. You got to tell a brother
like,
what was his last
up.
three and his last
like, you know what I'm saying? He
name.
like
Where his
Big J
grandmama
built,
stay?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like little husky brother.
Man, I got a lot of people out there. Again, I would have a longer list of telling you all.
So
the
that
people
nigga ain't
support
blood
me.
then.
No, I only got 2 real blood brothers. But yeah,
No, but look, bottom line,
That's
you know
a
what I'm saying? The
fact.
bottom line of what I'm saying is he was a part of that brand. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And for,
He was
for
representing the brand.
yes, representing
you
that
for that, my
brand. You know
brother.
what I'm saying? And from where we was at, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I know that I know that emblem, that sign or whatever it is, and it came back to the kind of businessman.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like cool conversations, you know what I'm saying, while we up in there, we going through whatever it is that we going through. We just chopped it up. Oh, 2 brothers, you know what I'm saying? We in the same industry outside of the
As you
street
should.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, we come back, you know what I'm saying? We like, cousin, we like, man, you heard of the kind of businessman? I'm like, yeah. I know it's popping. You know what I'm saying? You know
We
what
in the
I'm saying?
streets. We in
I'm
the
like, that's
we in the
right.
halfway houses. We out
You
here.
know what I'm saying? And then it's like, all right, we went to another event. I'm introduced to you. You know what I'm saying?
You're like,
I'm like,
At the,
damn,
at the Sesh
I'm like-
downtown, LA.
Okay.
I'm like, damn, that nigga lost weight or something.
No, he done gained the gang away. They just called me the other day and said it's time to do it. And
But,
the
you know what I'm
logo's
saying?
too thin. It don't look like it.
It's one of the recent events that we crossed paths at, you know what I'm saying, downtown.
Oh, it was Betty Crocker's event.
He was in there.
Smoking Loud.
You know what I'm saying? And he was there, you know what I'm saying, representing the brand. And I bumped into him like, bruh, what's happening? Years later, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm like, the impression that he put then, not even from the first time I even heard about the kind of business people.
Which is
You know
what
what I'm saying?
me and Pop were talking about, the importance of the experience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, what
Yeah, man.
represents your brand? What's the texture? What's the intent?
Shouts out to that brother, man. I'm just,
I love you, brother.
It's fucked
Sorry, I
up, you know what I'm
forgot
saying? I can't remember your name and all that, but
We
But
smoking
that's
loud.
but provided
Said he was
that
husky like
official.
Big J.
but that's it right there because like that's what draws the line between just handing someone a card and giving them an experience. Because
Mhm.
fast forward,
It's
Circle
memorable.
still remembers that and was just like, yo, you connected to stuff. Someone had your brand on that just like represented it and it just brought us here
And
today.
I'm grateful and thankful
So-
they represented us correctly.
Right,
My mom worked
like,
really hard on this.
Yes,
And
because
that's what I'm representing.
giving
I'm
an
glad they gave it
experience
that honor.
definitely creates
Yes,
memories.
sir.
It creates memories and it separates like you from like the competition, you know, because especially nowadays in this day and age, people don't look to give that experience that cater to you, that hospitality. It's like almost non-existent. People are stuck behind the phones, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Great.
And it's dope
So-
because it's coming from the LA area.
Right.
And because, you know, we LA, we you sell SoCal. What's up?
Right. Well, thank God for the mushrooms, man. It got me out of mad dog. And it got me to being,
Yeah.
you know, outspoken. I'll speak first.
Yeah.
I'll head nod. I'll smile.
Yeah.
Shout out to One Up.
Yeah.
And everybody enjoying psychedelics.
I'll be trying to live by that and change that too, though. Instead of seeing my brothers and stuff like that.
We got to make it cool.
Like instead of
Sure.
like what's up, my
We got to
brother?
teach
like
our
that for a
culture because
long
we don't
time.
have one, man. You know,
Yeah.
we only know what we've been brought up around, what we've been subjected to, what we've experienced. We got to change that experience.
Yeah.
Facts. So look, hosting events and also being a vendor. Tell us like some challenges that you've dealt with in both of those
How
endeavors.
much time we got?
Man, let's talk about it.
Challenges in that.
In hosting events, the challenges was I'm from West LA.
Mm.
I come up where your grandmama stay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You from somewhere, you tagged,
For real.
you were in a crew,
Something.
right? So getting into the cannabis industry and hosting,
Yeah.
a lot of people that you host their events, it turns into like a biker club or like a gang. Like Tuesday, you went to Taco Sesh.
Huh.
Sunday, you were at Blacklist.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge challenge for me. I already went through a level 4 prison yard.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Coming in as a young man that thought I was going to run alone and do what I want. We come up on the Tupac, right?
Yeah,
Then you go in there and brothers is going to church. They doing push-ups. They want to get married. They working out. I'm like, damn, I could have listened to the pastor. I could have listened to my mama, the Judge Dorn in Inglewood,
Facts.
right?
Facts,
So it's
yeah.
crazy that you evolve and you learn. But the truth is, man, a lot of the biases and the hate is something that people have experienced internally. And that's all they know to share.
Yeah.
So hosting it was difficult because people kind of owned you. Shout out to all the hosts. You'll see that they stick with the brand because it's kind of like that. It feels like, you know, they want to keep you to that.
You just feel like
Hosting that shit seemed like it's kind of tough though.
It is, man. And it's funny because a great host, you won't know their name because all they did, I didn't know y'all name. I told her, I was like, best way to smoke.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you're representing it correctly. That's when you're being the face of what it is. And then in events, being accountable, being responsible for everybody. People say, Cannabis, man, why you don't have your own sesh after all these years? Man, there's a level of accountability, like when you talk about safety and people getting home safe to their kids and, you know, people overindulging and having a bad trip. You just had a great guest on, Emily. You did a great job, Emily. People having a bad trip, quote unquote, right? And you got to be this is your event. You're responsible for that person. You know, maybe it's their first experience and it wasn't as enjoyable as you would like for it to be.
Right.
And you feel that. That's probably the biggest challenge is, you know what we do, man. There's people that rob, cheat, kill. Still, we're targets. You know, you gonna steal something, you gonna go steal it from the man that's got the weed.
On the real.
How he gonna call the police?
On the real.
So there's a lot that comes with the events. For me, it's the accountability and responsibility for all these people. Hosting is like, hey, it's under that brand, right? When it's my brand, I'm responsible for everything, not just the success of the event. Good question. Man, well, let me see that card. Shannon Sharp, Ocho Cinco. Y'all got work to do, man. They on point in here. Y'all should see it. They helping me on the screen. He giving me updates. He's showing me. I should have put the suit
That's
on.
right.
Man, that's that best way to smoke vibe.
Best way to smoke. Y'all doing y'all thing.
Man, because
I appreciate y'all.
you say you want to educate us. I just want to follow with that one as far as with these events. How do you handle conflicts or disagreements with clients, vendors, and team members during the planning process?
Man, I'm glad you asked that.
Lord.
I think that I'm better prepared for what I do because of my experience. And I'm the oldest child. I was my mom's date for Christmas parties. I was the one that hosted and worked the aisles with her as a host in church. Everything kind of prepared me for what I'm doing. That's why it's a lifelong passion and it's not something, I do this for free. I've done it for free. For a lot of y'all that don't know, you're going to do a lot of work for free before you get paid. And be happy with it and give the same amount of energy as you do for free as you do when you get paid. And that's when you'll be successful. But because of my parenting background and having to be a leader, having to be the eldest, I've always had to like put myself in the back seat. And what I gained most from that was perspective. Perspective is there's a flat table here between me and you. I'm looking at a 6. Do you know what number you're looking at? Flat on this table? That's a 9.
Yeah. The opposite way.
And the only way I was able to be able to truly help people is to see their perspective, sit in their chair. So what I did is I did the same thing I do that I tell my kids. So it's authentic. And I'm gonna be fair. I'm going to listen and take in the information and make a decision and stand on it. So with conflict, that's kind of, you got to give direction. You got to listen so you can absorb and kind of gauge, right? Who was the aggressor, things of that nature. But if you stay fair and you keep perspective, I think you'll be a great leader because you can stand and live with the decision you made based on what the intentions were for the decision.
I believe that to be so true. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we having this conversation here. My pops always told me that shit. As a man, you know what I'm saying, even in life, you make a decision, right or wrong, stand on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's just a full circle. I'm just saying that right now because it's like, shit.
That's why I went to being a pops.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why I went to being a pops.
But you just said something, you know what I'm saying, within this whole little dialogue right now. I'm like, damn, my pops been telling me that shit for years.
Yeah, I'm Unc now, man. They call me Unc now, man. I gotta take that. Man, I don't know if Uncs is still fly or cool. Pops got to let me know. But I'm Unc now.
You say that, OG.
Preach. They be like, preach.
OG or Unc. OG or Unc. Which one would you prefer then?
I prefer
Unc or OG?
I prefer Unc because of the connection with that. I think as our black culture, we just glorify gang culture and aggression, things that we were taught that ain't really us, man. We some of the most beautiful, colorful, loving, compassionate people on this planet.
That's right.
For real.
And I think it flows through all of our arts. People see us in basketball courts and in movies and in music. They see it. But if they come into the home and see what we are both quarter at, that's home. That's parenting. That's fathering. And that's really who we are. That's the culture we do know is our family.
Yeah.
Right? Our history is our family. So I'm glad
take the streets out of it though. You know what I'm saying? OG or Unc. Which one sound
I mean, I'm gonna be
which one is the oldest?
This is what he do. I'm telling you, this is what he do on the show.
You know?
That's what he be doing. Of course, man. I'm only
Nigga go with
46,
OG,
man. I ain't
I'm
86.
with OG, nigga.
Of course I'm gonna want to be the OG. Put some respect on my name.
Period.
Yeah, OG
That's
is a
right.
great title, man, because to be honest, that's where the streets are gonna give you the respect. And again, from a church background, the work ain't always done in the suites, man. Them people don't need as much help. It's the streets.
Mhm.
So to have someone in the streets see you as an elder and give you that respect, we all, as a black man, as a brown woman, we're fighting for respect. That's like the real thing. What we be fighting over, we don't know, is for respect. So to get that title from the streets is definitely huge.
Huh.
You know,
Look, hold on. Before you go with that question, I just want to ask one little thing because we be having this little stuff.
I know. I watch y'all. I'll be watching, and she gonna get us right when we get out of line. Come on.
Look, and even the masses believe, you know what I'm saying, in this game that we in right now, whether you go in, like, use the streets, you know what I'm saying, whether you use business, education, whatever it may be, we want to target the children. You know what I'm saying? Help the babies. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Me,
100.
I agree with that shit too, though. You know what I'm saying? But who's going to help these babies? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to feed the youngins? So me, I be like, man, we got to, like, teach us first because you can't, like, have no grown dummy teaching no youngin.
I'd be big on that.
How you feel about, like, tell me what you feel about that one.
Nah, a lot of times, our biggest leaders aren't the most informed.
Mm-hmm.
But they can
And-
still
To one of my points, though.
Correct. And I think as black men, we give respect to active, right,
Uh-huh.
of going on. But the person that plans and that has the experience is probably the person we should give a little bit more glory to. Because even if we're talking about gangsters, how gangster are you if you went to jail? How gangster are you if you died?
Mm.
Right?
Man.
Is that we watch all these movies. Which movie is it where the gangster is successful at the end? So what are you chasing? So again, we got to change our vision, change what we think is cool, and then change the example and experience we giving people. Like, I'm able to connect with you. And have
You know what I'm saying?
we still ignorant when we want to get ignorant.
Real talk.
And I think that's how you can connect to those that are ignorant, though, because they relate to that. They understand.
And that's how we going to connect to them children, though.
Facts.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
and then it's still people that it's still people that come out of that. Just like it might be 10 dumb niggas over here though, but it's one nigga that was a dumb nigga that translated into to start thinking more about what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
to
true.
be able
But
to-
the
and then-
underlying factor is you got that grown dummy that came into a light to shed the light on someone younger.
And then you can also learn something from a dummy too.
Facts.
If you smart enough to say, you know what, like just it's like we from where we from, Compton, Watts,
West LA.
You know what I'm saying?
We all over.
East Coast. You know what I'm
We in
saying?
Long Beach.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying though, it's like nigga having an uncle coming up in the household, and your uncle always fucking up. You know what I'm saying? But he's staying with moms, and you seeing that growing up, and you like, you know what? I ain't finna be like Uncle Ed or Uncle Craig or whoever the fuck.
See,
was
now
just
know
that
what? I'ma
becomes
take-
a choice
that's
in a child, though. That's not a lesson taught. That's a choice.
is.
You seeing something and
It's-
be like, I don't want that. But when you talk about passing something down, teaching something, you know what I'm saying? That's a self-learned behavior. Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know it's not that.
Right.
But it's still it's always
big lesson.
it's I don't want to veer too far off though, but it's still always a choice though, period. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got choices. Like my nigga E40 say, everybody got choices though, even the kid though. So you have to make a choice to say, you know what, I ain't for the sell dope or gang bang. You know what I'm saying? I see this example, I'm finna do this. You know what? I see all these niggas going to jail.
Who you're going? What you see that? Who will you model your life behind then? Like who are going to be your examples? You as this kid, you know what I'm saying? Be like, all right, I don't want to be that. What are you going to look to as that example then? Another kid or another man figure?
It could be your big brother. It could be anybody
some
that
kids get to a point where their peers influence them heavy,
Uh-huh.
you know, and that's when parents get
I
a
think the
little,
majority of-
you know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
know.
so you might like I'm the baby of my family, so I've learned a lot about this is what I'm not going to do.
Right.
You know, even when I like wasn't like or thought I was gonna get involved in shit, I always had people be like, no,
That's not
like,
for you.
yeah, like, you know, always had people looking out kind of deal, or just been like, you know, kind of watching like the mistakes and being like, even when there wasn't talk about it, it was just like, you just see it and you're like, nah, I'm straight, you
That
know,
comes
but
back
then,
to accountability and responsibility.
making the choice.
Right.
Your
Yep.
choices and your decisions. That's where you own that.
Yep.
right, and then
Yep.
but there is a point where you have your peers like influencing you, like people of your age or like other kids, you know, and you'd have to fuck up yourself and then be like, shit,
You
like
learn from that.
you learn
You know what
from
I'm saying?
it.
But if you got a whole
Yeah.
peer group, me being in the projects, you know what I'm saying? Like, We ain't got nothing outside these bricks right here.
Right.
All we know is niggas pure destruction.
Right.
This
and
is our peer group.
That's being a product of your environment.
What's going to be proactive out of coming
But
pure
look though,
destruction?
like your boy Cool said though, not to look, like your boy Cool said though, even with all that going on though, you still had the gym, the basketball games, the football games.
Being ran by our elders. That's
the
why I say
connection.
our
You know what I'm
elders
saying?
got to come teach us.
But
this stuff.
but a lot of them niggas was probably still in the streets though.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of them
Kinda.
niggas was still
But
in the streets and like,
Hey,
you know what?
man,
You
I
ain't-
tell people all the time,
Okay.
y'all think Jesus was up on a high hill somewhere? Jesus was down in the
Right,
streets
with the
where people could
people.
touch him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And to make a lifelong generation, centuries later, that's what you're gonna have to do. You can put that nice suit on and sit up
Yep.
there and just talk, or you can get down there. I came from Compassion in Action.
Yep.
Shout out to Bible Enrichment Fellowship Church
Shout out
International
to them.
in Inglewood.
Yep.
Pastor Bram Crawford. She had us at a young age. We learned compassion.
Mhm.
I mean, when we went to the streets and we had a different level of respect for the trash because we were cleaning it up and the people that were homeless that were there, there was when you were feeding them, when you were realizing, asking and finding out, you know, a lot of these people out here that say they giving back, they giving the wrong products, man. If you ever been homeless, you need socks.
man,
You need drawers.
sweaters.
You
all
hear
that
me? You
kinda
need
stuff.
soap.
Yeah.
I got people giving canned goods. I'm like, bro, he homeless.
He ain't got a can
How
opener.
he going can opener? He ain't got a
See,
stove to
A
cook it
stove
on.
to
that-
cook it on.
Compassion.
That
People
goes
that care.
that goes to my point for a person to actually go and like show that, you know what I'm saying, and teach that to a youngin'. You have to go through certain shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Experience.
absolutely.
So you have to experience certain things. It'll take brothers. Now I'm boasting and now I'm bragging. It's gonna
should.
take brothers like us.
Yeah.
Let's
You know
do
what I'm saying?
that.
To
That's
go through the
right.
shit that we go through,
To share that experience.
pour into this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right here, and then we can properly pour
That's
into
where it's
those
gonna happen.
youngins.
That's
And
how it's
You know
gonna
what I'm saying?
happen.
That's where my argument come from. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's not no F them kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As the joke goes,
Right.
fuck them kids.
Right.
It's never
I
that.
don't got no kids,
You know what I'm saying?
so
It's just me. I believe just reverse it just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And pour into those like-minded brothers like this. You know what I'm saying? Uplift that, educate that more, sharpen that still more. Once you hit them youngins, them bad babies gonna be flawless.
That's
Right.
that's agreed, but like just like me personally, like if you can
Fuck them kids.
no, I'm for the kids though. You
He's
know what
for
I'm
the
saying?
kids.
Yeah, I'm
No,
for the
no,
kids.
Big J love the kids, man. Don't let him do that to you.
Yeah, she say
Big J
fuck
love the
the
kids.
Look,
Pop said, "Fuck them kids." I don't got no kids.
but it's
alright?
like the conversation we had before. It's like if you had an opportunity, okay, you had a grant, you can provide. You had a program of like youngsters from 8 to 16. You know what I'm saying? That's still developing. Yeah, those the key. You know what I'm saying? But then you had from 25 to 35 to where you had a choice to choose which one are you going to pour into.
I would say
You going to the right because
Because that grown person right there, you already have the knowledge and equipment to attack that.
It depends.
You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody pouring and
me
giving that
personally,
grant to a
I'm
person
going
like
to the
you.
kids.
Yeah,
Right.
because look at
I feel like your
look who
energy
got
is
it.
being better spent, right?
Right.
Because, well, like my mom had dementia. I was my mom's caregiver, right?
Okay.
The biggest thing with dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia is you're dealing with, if they're an adult, a child continues to evolve and grow. Once they're at a state where they're not growing, they're not hearing you, they're not understanding, it's frustrating. So you're putting a lot of effort and energy, things you don't see results from. A child, the potty training changes, right?
Yeah.
Things change, the eating, the habits, and the things that you're teaching them, you see progress. So I think for us, it's easier with a child because we know, I tell people, I don't use the word potential with young adults.
Yeah.
That's for children.
Yeah.
Right now, you got to
like
perform,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So I think for us, we're told, well, a child's still learning and they're still accepting. At a certain age, we stop learning and accepting.
Yep.
So
Mainly accepting. We stop accepting as adults.
I feel like in your area expertise, like having that 5-star hospitality and like being a consultant and really like having to relate to the adult or whoever you're consulting with, it definitely comes with challenges in itself. I'm sure you dealt with some kind of combative, like, obstacles where you had to like be like, not take a lot of stuff personal. You really learn how to not take a lot of stuff personal and be like, all right, this is not me versus you. This is you versus your inner you. And I'm going to give you time and space to kind of process that because who am I to be like, like kind of get your shit together. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like some people like don't accept and like have that pride, like how we were just saying. But being in like doing what you do, I'm sure you've had those, those stubborn individuals.
Many of them,
Mhm.
and I've been one.
A lot of
I've been.
yeah.
I'm a Taurus.
Right.
I'll say that again. The
Right.
bull.
But
So I think
I'm a
there's
Libra.
no.
I'm balanced.
That's what you. That's what you call it.
I always say that, though. But
Always.
Go ahead, though. Go
Everybody
ahead, though.
loves playing on the sides. He took the
Offset
good.
that
He
shit.
took the good part of his side. He called it, I'm balanced.
Yeah. Go ahead, though, my nigga.
No, but I think she's
Oh,
correct
man.
that experience.
Yeah.
We for example, I didn't graduate high school because I chased my dream, and I ain't gonna act like I was Kobe or Nipsey, and I knew that was what it was. Somebody prayed for me, and all my life's experiences and everything that I've done
Mhm.
professionally and in my life prepared me for who and what I'm doing today, and that's key to it. But a lot of people don't realize that the experience is better than, for me, from my perspective, to be fair, is the most important thing, because when I'm going through something, I want to know how you dealt with it.
Right.
I want to know what it felt like. Did you cry when you went in the car?
Yeah.
Right? So
On the
experience
real.
is key. And if you're talking to someone that's been through something, I think there's a level of respect, and I think there's a
Facts.
bigger ear
Right.
for that person.
Facts. Look,
Absolutely.
tell us about Cushion Karaoke.
Cushion karaoke, man.
We have a
Cushion
couple of-
karaoke has evolved. I go to karaoke in LA, and I go there and it's like semi-professional singers, and I ain't gonna sing unless I done drank a whole. They didn't give me a lot of drink tonight too. These people should be really good. They had the reposado back there.
That's right.
But in most cases, people that go to karaoke, they're either drunk and that's why they're singing, or they're fans of the people that are singing.
I know. High. It's fun as heck. Boy.
So for me, I'm a dude that is in full performance mode in the car. In the shower, I think I'm Luther and I'm Janae Echo when I'm
Man.
driving, right?
Mhm.
So for me, it's being authentic to what I enjoy. Everything I try to curate is something that is relatable to me that I want to share with someone else.
Yeah.
I was surprised to hear that you knew about Pussy Fairy from Janae Echo.
Yeah.
I thought I was.
Yeah, niggas are
Shout out to
Hey,
Janae.
think
brothers
that, though.
better- they
Yeah,
better
man.
get some R&B in their life.
I
don't know what your
I go back
playlist
to
is.
Leah, all that.
Oh man,
Brandy,
tell them.
yeah,
So for me,
man.
Cushion Karaoke evolved from evolving the sesh so that the vendors have different forms of entertainment and people have an experience, so you can have something that they remember from visiting your product and your services. But it's just because I think I can sing in the shower.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love to perform in the car. And I want everybody to feel comfortable enough in this environment. Cannabis is so inclusive. And when you talk about music's probably the only thing as inclusive and as wide-ranging as cannabis.
Right.
There isn't a genre of music where cannabis isn't consumed in a concert. There isn't a genre of music that they don't consume cannabis as a creative aspect of what they're doing. So Cushy Karaoke evolved from me trying to show everybody that I can sing as well. And get everybody
That's
to come
right,
together and then dance. We come from the era, cha-cha slide,
all that. Yeah.
Soul Train line. That's what goes down to
Stanky
Cushion
Bag.
Karaoke. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what it is.
Fuck, do the thing.
That's how that evolved.
They just mad shady, y'all.
Hey, they be in here shooting. Y'all got to see the behind the scenes in here.
I'm saying, I feel like I gotta keep
Nah.
the camera rolling.
You do. You do. I told them on the pre-call the other night, I said, if she shoots that look, I know what that means.
Right. Move on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, that's real, man. And I'm gonna definitely have to come check out the Cushion Karaoke.
You gonna get on there and sing one or dance one? Like Fresh, my brother Fresh, shout out to Fresh. You know Fresh. He came on the mic after a couple
Give me
drinks,
a couple
weed
shrooms, I'll be up there.
couple shrooms. We got him up there.
Give me some Tupac or something. I'll get up.
No. We got to keep R&B. We want the energy.
Do some shit you don't know.
We want to cater to the ladies. We
Okay.
want to be inclusive for all genres.
Give me some Jodeci or something.
Now you talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to hold him to that, y'all. Cushion
Yeah.
Karaoke,
Yeah.
August 4th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
And I think
backup
Big J
singer.
going to be singing Jodeci.
Yeah.
Now, for when we go, I want to go with him too, though. It can't be no songs we know, bruh.
Yeah, you
No
got
songs-
to get
no
outside of the comfort
Yeah.
zone.
Gotta
Okay.
So
get
you
up
saying
outside
the
of that.
words wrong like you do in the car anyway,
Yeah. You know
what I'm
and you
saying?
reading it and you still getting it wrong, we want to
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Okay.
I think that'd be
okay.
the best. You know what I'm saying? You do the cushion karaoke.
Fire and Desire, I
Okay,
got
now
you.
pick
Y'all-
your song.
Fire and Desire,
Fire
y'all
and
got that?
Desire,
You got to-
I'll do it. Yeah. Fire
He like me, I'll do it.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
you know what I'm
happen. Me
saying?
and Serpo are gonna be the backup singers. Like, we got this. So it's gonna be like
I ain't Rick James. All right, look, hold on. Back on a serious tip, man. We finna get back on up in here. What strategies do you use to evaluate the success of an event and gather feedback for continuous improvement?
these people are professionals. These ain't the questions they asked me yesterday, but they're asking me the right questions. I'm very glad you asked
said
that.
you want to educate.
Yeah, and I want to educate.
Yep.
Now, I think success is something that everybody has their own. What it equals to everyone is different for success. A successful event to me is when you sit at the room and you watch people engage, and you see smiles and you see connections happening. And when the phone comes out, it's because they're taking a picture or they're taking contact information. That's a successful event. Again, I think so many people in this business, it's a business,
Right.
they're looking at the end result being finances and money. But money is the end result. A profit is the end result of the data,
Right.
of the branding, of the marketing, of the infrastructure, of your standard operating procedures. So for me, success is, did we do everything we said we were going to do? Did we underpromise and overdeliver? Did you get excitement? Did you get an experience? Right? And each person throwing the event, again, as a great consultant, you're going to find out what they think is success. Because to some people, it's, oh my God, I can't believe they showed up. I've been waiting for them to come and support my event. It's success now. I've had people tell me, oh, you showed up. Now I know it's a successful event. That shit makes you feel like
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So to each his own. The word success to some is, I tell people all the time, I call myself a champ, not because I'm 50-0,
Right.
because I'm willing to take on the next challenge.
That's
real.
right.
A champion continues to take on the challenges. It's
Lows
not
and
the winner
all.
alone.
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got to find out for each person what the success is. For me, success is the event that I went to that she came, and I got a total experience because I see her here doing her thing here, and I see her turn it into hospitality, and it's another great day.
It's
at
the
Best Way to
Popinator.
Smoke. I'm like,
That's the popinator.
Oh,
show.
she
Make
got-
it pop.
Yeah.
The host with the most.
Yeah.
most definitely.
I've been trying to
gave me
tell
an
these
experience.
people I'm the professional hype
Hey,
woman. I'm trying to hype y'all up. You know?
I'm telling you, you better change your budget so you can afford it because
It's going
you're
up.
definitely going to get more than what you expected with this one here. She had
Today's
me
price, not tomorrow.
ask her. I had my mouth. I was like, she came back with another round. Is there anything else I can get you, Mr. Cannabis Businessman? I said, oh no. She got it. So success
Thank
for
you
me
for
would
that.
be me remembering the experience and the hospitality, telling me where the restroom is, introducing me to other people. If you think about a host, if I come to your house and I didn't speak to you, I didn't introduce you to nobody, I didn't do my job. I didn't tell you where the restroom was, tell you, yeah, you're going in there and get you a beer when you want, but you watched everybody else get a beer. I didn't do a good job. So success, I think, is to each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I read something on your bio, right? It says, so tell us what you mean by saying you're bridging the streets and the suites and diversifying the cannabis experience.
I'm gonna keep it authentic, man. The universe, the world, our country, the black man has not always had the highlights in our history for who and what we are here today and how we got where we are, this great land of America.
Right.
When I say streets to suites, I think it comes in that order. Now, everything that's in hip hop that you see these McDonald's and Subaru commercials with black people singing and dancing and right? TikTok, when you see other nationalities taking on things that their children might not have done, I think that's what I mean by streets to the suites is making sure I keep myself a customer, I keep myself a vendor first perspective, putting myself in that person's shoes, remembering what do I want? What do I demand? What do I expect?
Right.
And when I keep that as my view and my insight, and remember it's important to start with the kids, right? And to get to the streets where it's most needed.
Yep.
To the suites. The suites are where it's going to be right after it's accepted. Now they're forced to it. So streets to suites for me is that. I'm a high school dropout, and I take care of my entire family, including my mother and father until their death. They were in my care. They weren't in a home. And I was probably the
That's
least
commendable.
likely.
That's super.
I was probably the least likely from where I came up. Like anybody sees this and knows in high school, like, how the hell did he get there with them?
Right.
And that's just being honest.
Man.
And I glorified the streets at the time. So I keep that to make sure I remember streets to the suites in that order.
Man,
I wear a suit. So then
that's
I won't throw
crazy.
that off.
Like you just made me go back in like memory lane. I was in Camp Munns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Way back when. I'm finna be 39. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Y'all didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was like 12, about to be 13, maybe even probably younger. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget the lady named Miss Laura. She had a fucking thing on her hand, just like you. Tall, burly, corn-fed white lady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just based off of like my demeanor, I guess, the way I talked, how I was, she was like, you would never see the age of 18.
Mm.
I was about 12, 13.
Yeah.
I
You
believe
would
that,
never
too,
see the
bro.
age of
I ain't gonna
18.
lie.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
believe that.
what?
What's her name? Miss Laura?
Miss Laura.
Fuck you,
You know what I'm
Miss
saying? She
Laura.
worked at
Huh.
Cap Muns. You know what I'm saying? She was at Cap Muns. Miss
How
Laura,
y'all
big,
got her at Camp Munn?
Right.
big burly white lady. You know what I'm saying? She used to always have a little thing on her little wrist.
Where her IG? You got a crew
out.
back there working. Put her IG up there, man. I saw how you do this.
39.
Put her IG.
39, Miss Laura. That's it.
I'm
Yeah,
approaching
fuck
my
you,
fellas.
Miss Laura.
All right, fuck you, Miss Laura.
Yeah.
Hashtag that.
You can make it.
Look at him now.
Pretty much what it
Period.
Anybody can make it.
Motherfucker.
Resilient
Yeah.
and persistence. Like I said, forget
Yeah.
what the haters say. They in the crowd for a reason. Let them
Man.
view while you do.
Exactly.
They can boo. They can say that's my baby, but they're in their proper position. You got to get out here and get active. Get
That's
to it.
right.
Bottom line.
And you know how many kids probably had that experience? You know, with
Majority.
someone just being like,
You ain't.
like, you ain't never gonna
Yo
be
daddy.
shit.
That's some
type
BS.
deal.
Like, why
It's
ain't-
Well, nights like this, I wish.
right, and
Man,
how, like
brains.
how that could shape
Man.
somebody's perspective, you know, to either really believe it or really be like, "Fuck you, Mr.
Again, man, we got to tread lightly in this life we live in, man, because you don't realize even your footsteps is leaving an impression on this earth. What do you want that to be?
Yeah.
Somebody might follow them footsteps. Somebody might try to fit into them. Somebody might take your direction. You got to think about that. You know, it's funny. My own baby, my granddaughter saw me leave, let a blunt roach out, right? And I be on them about leaving the water bottle or the McDonald's. We black, we gonna keep it real. Y'all know they got the McDonald's trash right there in the drive-thru for us, and we open the car in the drive-thru and let the water bottles out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the only one? I thought we was from Watson Compton. over
Nope,
there.
you ain't the only one.
My daughter see me with a roach, and she say, my grandbaby say, that's pollution. If everyone threw a roach out the car, what would we walk through?
Man.
And that's the reality of how we got to start treating life and
Facts.
each other and others, man. What about who's behind you? What about who's next to you?
Yeah.
And that's true though. That's so true. You know, my grandson. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I hide. I ain't gonna even say I hide. I don't do that shit like that no more because he'll do that.
Call you on it.
You ain't supposed to be doing that,
Right.
Pawpaw.
Yeah.
You little motherfucker.
Hey, Jay used to do that too when he was younger.
Hey man, they're the
Yeah.
biggest watchers. They're
Oh.
observing and absorbing. So you got to be cognizant.
Remember that time I was at Auntie house and me, you, and Lebo in the kitchen, and Jaden came in there. He said, "That smoking will give
Yeah.
you cancer." My son, he was way younger though. My youngest son,
Yeah.
smoking will give you cancer. I said, "Man, take your
My stepson gonna watch
I remember
this.
that shit,
My
man.
stepson gonna watch this. He used to like,
And he had a straight face.
right. I mean, they would just all the extras. Oh, the smoke. Oh,
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah,
yeah. Now he's in the street smoking more than me.
man.
My
No,
son.
all the
We call my
strains and all
son Bubba.
that,
We call my son Bubba.
Bubba,
Premium
best
98 was my
strain.
favorite
Yeah, one
strain.
of the best, yeah.
I got out of prison 06 and tasted that Bubba, and
Yeah.
that ended up being his nickname.
Yeah.
He answered the question already. So pre-98 Bubba.
That's probably the best experience I can remember. Time in my life, you know. That's when I found out my mom had dementia. She came back from Ohio State, with all these papers, all this testing. I took her up to the judge, and the judge denied her. I'm like, bro, my mom asked me, am I her dad? You talking about you gonna deny her? That's just the system, how our system works.
Right.
But it was a time in my life where, like I said, what I absorbed, what affected me.
Mm.
And I came home from prison 06, and they had the Master, they had OG, all these strains. Like, remember, we had Indo,
And,
You know what I'm saying?
Outdo. You know, there wasn't all
Just
these
get
different
high.
strains at the time, right? And that Bubba, it was Premium 98 Bubba Kush. And it would put us in couch mode.
The
couch
original,
lock, literally.
yeah.
Just
Couch lock.
I don't care. I'm 6'3.5", almost
Hot in the
290,
mother.
but it would have you couch lock, like the Laker game start and then the game over.
Man.
Luckily they played
Yeah,
it
like
twice
one
back
of
in the
those.
day.
On
the real.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Look, speaking about like just old school smoking, period. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, nowadays they got these brands, you know what I'm saying, coming out. They got these testers, pesticides, and all this old good type stuff. What's your take on that?
All right, let's take it here. I'm glad you asked me that. What other product in the world, let alone a product that's grown and natural, that we consume, is under such scrutiny and testing?
Hmm.
We are here in America eating fruit that doesn't have seeds. We're here in
Man.
America eating a
He
fish,
all his fruit.
tilapia. You know, tilapia
Yeah,
is,
but I know what you're saying.
right.
though.
These are man-made,
Yeah,
Farm.
tilapia,
farm, fresh, born in a
Tilapia,
factory,
boo,
born in
boo.
a lab food, right?
I'm a few years sober from tilapia.
So that's A, is
Welcome
that
to the
it's
dark
just
side.
still being scrutinized, still being penalized, there's still so much bias
Yeah.
on it. That's A. And then secondly, the biggest thing is, man, if you know business and you understand business, capitalism, which is America, then even the BBB I was sharing with you guys, the Better Business Bureau, you're paying the Better Business Bureau to get your grade. And of course, by having their services and having them on board, they're going to do the due diligence and
push it
help
up,
remove
yeah.
your Yelp and help improve your score in ways that are traditional and that are still with integrity.
Right.
They're doing the work for you that you don't know how to do with customer service, right? Just like someone cleaning your credit.
Right.
But in the reality of it is that these are individuals and they're doing something new. People don't want to tell you, hey, we've never tested cannabis in the 500 years that cannabis has been used, you know? There's never been tested to this extent. And we're all using different materials to test it. And whether you paid me or not, right, are how good the results will be. So that's, to be honest
That's a
about
good
it,
perspective.
you got to
Yes,
really
it
think
is,
about
though.
those things.
Yeah.
That is
What if I told you this, in all due respect to the popinator? You know what I'm saying? Me being I'm a man, I'm a male figure. Been smoking weed for a long time. My scrotum, my nut sacks, they still produce semen, and my petos still get hard. Ain't nothing wrong with me, and I be smoking like a motherfucker.
I put this here for us, man. It's all natural.
You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing that's altered.
Yeah, old man.
Well, let's be scientific and be educational because we said we're going to do that. Your body actually has cannabinoid receptors in your
that's
DNA.
true. Yes.
So anything in your body that has a receptor means that there was supposed to be an intake of it. Psilocybin. Alcohol is a reaction to, it's actually poison in your body, and your body's overheating. It's trying to get out your stomach. It's a reverse reaction to what you're feeling, and that's why your body's not enjoying it. But if you have receptors in your body and your DNA for it, that means you're supposed to have a level of consumption of it.
That's the
Just
kind
be
of
balanced.
businessman for y'all,
Be
man.
balanced.
That's right. Be balanced.
Drink some water. Drink some
Hydrate.
water.
Even the plant needs water, y'all. Come on, have some more water.
Right.
So what advice would you give to somebody that wants to be in the cannabis industry, like selling products?
Make sure that's what you want to do.
Get one up.
A lot of people, a lot of people see what someone else is doing, and I think that's our fault in the positions we're in. We don't share the losses as much. I think if people really knew the stresses and the losses, they'd have a better idea to say, maybe this ain't for me. We get on Instagram once the hair is done. We get on Instagram once we're in the car and the seatbelt's on, the right song's on, and we got the angle right. But if people saw the 3 hours you had to do to prepare just for that 10-minute live, they might not want to sign up for that. So make sure it's what you really want. Anything you're doing, make sure you'll do it for free. Make sure you love what you do. Make sure you're all in.
Right.
And make sure you want to be great. Don't just get in it just to get in it. I mean, they give awards out for third place, but I don't want that one.
I don't want that one.
I don't want that.
For
I'm
real.
not getting up there for that one.
For real.
And the other advice is, remember where you're at. I think one of the greatest questions people ask in the podcast is, what would you tell your 18-year-old you? And my answer is, remember you're 18. And when you're 30 and when you're 40, the vision, the perspective, all the things changes. Whatever I got mad at you about in high school, I don't remember that. It was war then.
Right.
I can't even tell you what that argument was about. So the perspective is to tell somebody is, know where you're at, whether you're in the beginning, middle, or later stages like myself. Accept that and realize that it evolves, it changes. I'll be the new booty to something soon, right? Mushrooms, I was new to, I had to learn, right? And you're in a key place whenever you're learning or teaching. So continue to be in one of those two spots.
Let me ask you this, though. You know what I'm saying? Not what you would tell your 18-year-old self, though, but where you are right now. Have you met the best version of yourself?
Nah, I'll always say no. I'll always say no.
So you can
Because,
learn.
again, good, better, best, never let it rest till your good gets better and your better gets best. If I review the tape of the championship, I'm going to see something I did that, I didn't even need to expend on that energy to do that. It would better be use of my energy in the third quarter coming into the game than in it at halftime. So if you're really in this to be great, you're going to find out what you can always do. You could always do something better.
On the real.
Always.
Look, I'm going to take that, what you just said right there, and I'm going to call that the Iman Shepherd effect. The only reason why I'm saying that shit because Kobe Bryant came out there in that fourth quarter and just you had a good game already. You had it already, but now nigga, I'm finna go berserk.
I saw that interview.
That's the Iman Shepherd effect.
I met that brother too. Shout out to Iman. He's a good brother.
Man,
Real.
shouts out to that brother.
And the podcast. All the brothers doing the podcast, evolving,
Yep.
right? It's easy to say, this is what I do and I stand on this. It's hard to get out there and try something new. It's hard. And I think if you're not putting in the work, if you're not putting in the effort, it should be hard.
Yep.
It should be some work for you. That's why it's called work.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's why it's called work.
Facts.
Get to work.
Man.
Yep. Most definitely.
Shout out to you and all your growth and everything that you've like come across so far. I know you went from vending to events to just educating to the whole nine. So
Thank you.
congratulations on that and how far you've come and what's like to come. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much.
I know you got your cushion karaoke, brunch with Bud, and your doses lounge. You know, your soft launch for your events. Like anything else in the future that we should look forward to?
Yeah, to continue to educate, entertain, and give people an experience. I kind of went into I tell people that you're an onion and you have so many layers of your life that are on you that are subjected to what you come up around, what your parents taught you, all these biases. And for example, I was a fanatic. One of my daughters is named Kobe. I got a daughter named Kobe. I was like a Laker fanatic, right? I could argue with you how many rebounds Kurt Rambis had against the Celtics in 80, right? It was sick. But I think people don't realize that these are things, maybe because my dad was a Laker fan, right?
Yeah.
If I was born in New York, would I have been a Knicks fan? So when I tell people that these layers of your
Said
onion,
no.
I don't blame you. I'm sorry. You see, even Cam and Mace don't even rock with it.
He blamed me for being a Raider fan. My pop's a Raider
Poor
fan.
you. We're going to give you a hug when we leave here. Poor
It's
you.
cool.
Yeah, poor you.
But I think
No, what I tell
onion,
him is by default. I'm just a fan by
See,
default.
but now
you gotta pick a
y'all-
team.
Look,
You
but
gotta
if they,
pick a team.
but
You
if they
pick a team.
win, no,
Long as he ain't
But now
picking a
it's
new
by
team
default,
every
though.
year.
But look, now it's by default. Though. That's
All
what
Raider
be killing-
fans believe
That's
they
the
gonna
only
win
thing
every
that be
year.
killing
This
me about
brother, with this brother right here, is never by default. It's by purpose. You know what I'm saying? He's a Bronco fan. Last season, they can't even talk to
Okay,
the
but
Raiders,
it's
bro.
Broncos on mine, though. Forever. So
You only as good as your last season. Them motherfuckers.
No.
My
suck.
point exactly. As they grow older and things evolve, that onion comes off. You start figuring out, man, the Broncos ain't been shit since. Right?
We got a Super Bowl with Manning.
You got one. I got
What's your squad?
San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
See how you signed us that?
Look, he said, "Oh,
See how you signed us that? They just okay.
Yeah, but y'all get there. Y'all get there as of late. Y'all, you know,
Been there.
Yeah, but it's
we're there frequent.
Figure it
We
out.
frequent that
Figure it
spot.
out. Yeah, figure it out.
We will.
I know a lot of y'all though. I know a lot.
But to answer your question, man, you got to evolve. You got to undo that onion and find out what else. Get to the core of what you are. So that's kind of what I'm doing now is being authentic to what, like gaming has been a big part. Born in the 80s, people think it's just music, the influence of music and movies, gaming and cosplay, anime as they call it now. I'm really into that because of my connection with my kids. I'm not a great gamer.
Heavy.
I ain't gonna lie. I was always the oldest brother, and you know how you get your system on Christmas night.
Yeah.
My brother stay up 2-3 days till New Year's Eve playing, and I'd be the one just kind of watching them because I wasn't as good,
Yeah.
right? But what I'm evolving into is finding out to the core, what do you really enjoy, right? Because a lot of these things are just based on what you can afford, what you've experienced, what you've been around. Had I grew up around the Clippers, I might have been a Clipper fan, right? Hope
Never.
not. But undoing the onion.
Like everybody here said never.
Right, not the Clippers. Sorry,
Crazy.
Clipper fans. Stadium's beautiful, but we're not rocking.
Wood Clippers.
But yeah, that's for me. That's it. Is bringing out new things that are authentic to me. This whole social media thing is about being relatable, finding someone that's your audience. Maybe not the 8 billion people on the planet, but there's 80 that are just, oh my God, I feel you, right?
Yeah.
And when you get in touch with who you are, that's how people find out who they are and what works for them too. Same way you were influenced.
Yeah, look, yeah, it's about 80. It's about 80 that's by default. You know what I'm saying? But look, tell everybody like what's next for you, you know, what you got, what's coming up. I know the Cushion Karaoke, give them the dates and let them know, you know, what's coming up next.
Cushion Karaoke will be August 4th. I collab with Hey Love and Heart LeBeau, comedian Dirty D. They already have a crowd. They're already doing what we do, smoking and weed. I think that's like absolutely perfect. I think there's a lot more people at these comedy shows because they're drunk, not appreciating the comedian. So I think we'll be more accepted to that. I think we enjoy smoking and laughing.
Yeah.
So I got with some other people that do what I do and collaborating, mixing the brown, the black, the different
Everything.
entities
the
in.
cultures.
So that's August 4th, downtown LA. Cannabis will be in the fall. And that's going to
Anime.
be, we got to see, it's MUA, M-U-A, the artist. You got to have respect for the culture and the communities you're dealing with. So the people that are doing anime events and cosplay events in the summer, you're not being real to the people. Because if I spend all that money like LA baseball head and do all that makeup and I'm sweating it out, I'm wearing this whole outfit and I'm uncomfortable, then you didn't think about hospitality. And
Shout out to
service.
LA baseball. Yeah.
Shout out to my brother LA baseball head and his wife who does all the work.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, so like I said, there's always someone really great behind whoever we
Behind
think
that,
is
yeah.
right.
Sure.
I want to give a shout out to the anime too, though, because this probably like a couple of years ago. This talking about like going back to the gaming. There's a person came out like on 2K. He had anime on his back. You know what I'm saying? Tattooed like on the character.
Okay.
Me, in my ignorance, you know what I'm saying, I know now, you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking he's talking about anime. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like a name, a person name, a person anime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Eat the cake anime.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like as I start talking, they like, nah, sir, that's not that.
That's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah, like it's not that anime. They talking about animating and the cartoon type stuff.
Anime is so inclusive.
Cut my
It's
mic
more than
off.
just
You know
gaming.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's the people that do art,
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
do movie art that do like they can make your whole face.
Yeah.
They can make you look like Martin Lawrence when he was beat up, right?
Yep. And that's
them
when my
fight
daughter
scenes,
came.
Movies,
Crazy,
culture.
yeah.
There's so much culture
Yep.
in that.
My
And
daughter
I'm
came in
trying to
and told me,
find
like, this
communities
is
and
pop.
culture things that cannabis being the inclusive conduit
Mhm.
surround that. So that's where Caname came from.
Rick and Morty. Is Rick and Morty part of anime? You
For sure.
know what I'm saying?
Huge part of moving the culture forward.
That's the first thing.
That's adult.
My daughter told me.
Adult
She was like, "Dad,
cartoons.
Rick and Morty." I'm like,
It ain't the Big Bert we used to. That's for sure.
So yeah, that's dope. So we definitely gonna be tapped in, and everybody go to his page, follow his page, tap in with him so you can know what's coming up next. We definitely appreciate you coming out. We're gonna have
My
to do this
pleasure.
again.
That's
Most
right.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
At one of our events,
even
man.
get-
I want
yeah.
y'all to see how much work
I
these
didn't get all
people
my
put in
That's right.
Yeah.
and see a live show. I was just telling them I'm gonna be the first. I'm not gonna just invite them. I'm gonna open up my show
Right.
to any event I have for you guys to do the show because I had a hell of experience. Shout out to Emily that was here before me
that's
Yeah.
to experience it, to see the level of professionalism, the preparation, the staff, my brother in the back, put
Solomon.
everything on the
Solomon.
screens.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's out
Right.
to
This
Solomon,
this was
guys.
an honor and a pleasure, man. I love what you guys are doing, and I
Thank
want to
you.
let's make support a sport. I want to support y'all, so I think people should see all the work y'all. They ain't edited none of this, y'all.
Man,
They doing this,
Straight.
and they doing a
Man.
great job. And I love
Thank
what y'all doing.
you.
I appreciate you. Thank
I got you, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Yeah, and that's another shout out too, because I think if I'm not mistaken, you the second one out here live that's to give our man Solomon his props, bro.
Man,
That's right. Shout
I
out
was
to
watching
Solomon.
him in the cut from the back. I'm like, man, this is a whole experience watching him
He
put
do
the
his
things up
thing.
and lead us.
He do.
Y'all don't know, but there's a whole screen here in front of me. And when I'm going to where he's giving me the right, he's putting up my website. I didn't even see that on my website. He's leading us and directing us. You're
Yep.
doing an excellent
Yeah.
job. The production, like this wasn't no, hey, Miko, we gonna smoke and we just gonna talk. Nah, they took the time to all get on a call as a staff and as a crew and make sure the direction of what we're doing. Like, I really appreciate the level of professionalism and the way you guys are taking this serious. And that's why y'all great. Best way to
Thank
smoke
you.
for
There you
sure.
go.
For sure, man.
Thank
Shout out
you,
to you,
thank
my
you.
brother. And we want to thank y'all for tapping in with us, man. Big J.
Sir Pope Jr.
And C Pop.
Let's upset up with us, man.
Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and go and tell a cousin, and not a Bronco.
Man, y'all awesome. Thank you. Thank you.